time for another video review, and this one is the Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Ultra Magnus in the leader class. The second leader class release, and yeah, a bit late, but whatever. Snow happened, but yeah, you can see he is a car carrying truck, which I will put off to the side here because we got to look at the box real quick. But yeah, it's the same sort of box as before, you know, Siege and window, Ultra Magnus there on the thing, Autobot symbol, window for nice lighting. Nice artwork on the side, black light stuff right here at the bottom, copyrights and barcode on the bottom. That same artwork we've seen with the Arc a million times now on the side. And how they look Ultra Magnus in his, you know, various modes and steps, and now they look shockwaves out there too, and warnings and whatnot too. Also, this is S13, WFC S13. Yeah, that's the box. And again, instructions in the package. And again, they're also much nicer than previous generations instructions. So yeah, you got Ultra Magnus here in his car carrier mode, which, yes, it is very much an homage to Robots in Disguise, you know, the 2001 one, or Car Robots, or whatever you want to call it. It's very much an homage to that design. You can see with the concave, you know, angular concave design for the front and everything. It's very reminiscent of Robots in Disguise of all things here. This is very much G1, but colors and stuff are G1, but yeah, it's very reminiscent of that design. You also see these guns, which yeah, now we know for sure these are Cybertron Optimus guns, because that's what they did. This is the to consider default configuration for this guy. He does roll, by the way. This is the default configuration, at least on shown on the packaging one. However, I prefer putting these at the front and the black guns at the back, because two reasons. One, this is kind of more correct to every other iteration, which, you know, has the rocket pod things up here. And two, these guns kind of help, you know, by putting them in the back, they help hide the head that's just kind of chilling out back there. You can see that right through there. You can see a head. But if you put this here, it helps hide it a little better. It helps hide that head a little bit better, and it also happens to be a little more accurate to G1, I guess. So there you go. It's a little better. Yeah, he rolls really well. The only other thing that I can complain about is this right here. This massive gap right here. You can see where the legs go, and it's just, I wish there was something that covered that up, but there is not, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a decent sized car carrier. You know, looks good, rolls, everything, does what it needs to do. The only thing is that, you know, also this doesn't turn at the front. Just out, you know, curiosity, or just for comparison's sake. Here's the Combiner Wars version that we got a couple years ago. You can see the truck cab's smaller here, but he's kind of taller, and he can also, you know, do that. Lengthwise, yeah, Combiner Wars version is a little bit longer, but not really by much. He's also clearly taller and everything, but yeah, you can see they're roughly the same size in this mode, just, I guess, scale-wise. I guess technically this would be a bigger truck just by scale and everything, but whatever. Yeah, that's that. You can see that. I'm not going to get Robots in Disguise Magnus I have, because he's over combined with Optimus, and I guess I'm just too lazy. But yeah, it is a homage. But in transformation, I take these panels and pull them backward like this. There's multiple. They clip in here. This kind of clips in. Yeah, in multiple places. This right here, this red piece, it clips in back here on this white piece right here on the top. Want to kind of lift that up and back. These clip over. These right here clip over this bit right here. And you can have this. You can do the truck by itself if you want. Just the white cab. It still works, but you got hands chilling out. Obviously, these are clearly feet. These are clearly hands. It's not the greatest on its own, but you can do it. You can separate and, you know, still have a functioning cab, but just know it doesn't look great like this. So there you go. But if you want to transform into his white Magnus mode, you know, take these heels, flip them out, separate the legs completely, because they also tab in up here too in the crotch. Tab in up there too, so make sure it's separate out, and then bring them down like so. Take these pieces and they untab from the back here. Move them out like this. Rotate this entire thing around like that. Right here, you want to take this piece, and it'll jump from this rail to this rail. Just take it and slide it up until it clicks into place up here. Then you want to go ahead and open up the cab forward. And this tab's in pretty hard. You want to open that up, flip the head out, click it back into place, move the arms forward and tab slot, both sides, and then slide this back. And this spine will, you know, click into place. And there's also a click point for when it's for truck mode. So yeah, when you're pulling it back out for truck mode, also yeah, it's real tight, so you don't have to worry about stuff moving when you don't want it to. When you pull it back for truck mode, there's a click point, so just know about that. Just be aware of that. Yeah, just clicks into place back there too, and you rotate the fists, bring them down, bring the arms down, rotate the fists, and there you go. You have a white Ultra Magnus inner robot guy. Yeah, they finally did it again. They finally did an inner robot for Ultra Magnus. It's been quite a while since they've done that officially. And he's very chunky. You can see that. He is a very chunky guy. It apparently scales well with the Voyager Optimus, which I still do not have, thanks to, I don't know, Chosen Prime taking forever to get that last bit of Wave 1 in. And you really need to contact them about that. But, yeah, you can see that. He's got this thing on his back. Everything. He's just, you know, big old chunky, stylized white Ultra Magnus. Take the guns from here. Figure the silver gun if you want. He's got 5mm pegs. They're the same hands he'll have in his big mode, so there you go. He can hold his gun, which is a little, I guess, possibly a little tiny bit, just a smidge too big for him. And you could also take, I guess, take the rocket pod things, maybe peg him on here on his little arm things. There you go. You got some stuff. You got options here if you want. Yeah, posability wise though, I think I also really like this. This is a translucent blue plastic with silver backing behind it, so it looks really nice. And you got a nice little Pixel Autobot symbol there. And also the, you know, blue faceplate with this. It's supposed to be a blue faceplate over a silver. You know, you can see blue faceplate, silver face behind it, it's red eyes. You know, there's some nice details picked out. And again, the battle damage ain't so bad. You got this stuff on the thighs. You got that stuff. It's not, honestly, I don't find it a big deal. It's really not a problem, honestly. But yeah, posability. He's got a ball jointed head, which, again, quite a bit of range there. You know, waggle, up and down, left and right, all that stuff. You got shoulders forward and back freely. Another hinge right there for that. You got a bicep swivel. Got elbows, which go about 90 degrees. Wrist swivels. Nice thing, waist swivel, which you'd think that might be well, but yeah, because of the way this transforms stuff, it just unhindered. No problems. Really, you know, clicky ratchets forward and back. A very soft ratchet outward. It's just barely there, but you can feel that. It's just a very soft, noiseless one. He does have thigh swivels right here. They're kind of limited because of how it's designed, but not to the point of actual real detriment. Anything beyond that, I don't think you really need for thigh swivel. He's got knees about 90 degrees, although they're the kind of long shins, so kind of yeah, you got that going. And you got ankle tilts. They're pretty decent. Not the greatest, but decent. And you got these heels if you know need those for whatever reason. If you have a weird pose, you can put them in. You can put the heels down like that. But otherwise, no other angle articulation. So yeah, it's actually a decent little chunky inner robot. It looks okay. And again, it's just kind of that weird thing of like, it's just really chunky. So you got that going. All right. So of course, this is Ultra Magnus, so you can, of course, armor him up. And well, first thing you want to do is take these heels and put them back in the feet. You can still actually kind of stand, but you really should, yeah. From there, take this little waist piece right here, move it out, rotate it around, and then put it back in. And hey, look, he's got his blue belt. You also want to take this and you're gonna have to move the chest forward slightly because otherwise it doesn't want to slide, which is it's weird, but whatever. And then you slide this down, back down like this, and tab that back in. You untab the arms from the side, pull the waist down, pull the chest down, and put his head back in, and then retab everything back together. And this part is pretty much ready to go for Ultra Magnus. Put him off to the side right here. And this stuff, you want to, if you haven't already, start taking all the guns off these pieces. All the gun pieces off, take those down, take those off. Right there. And then untab this this part right here. It's tabbed in on top right here. I want to untap it from there and there. You want to untap it from that. Same with this side. Untap from the side. So, if it'll undo itself. Yeah, this part just came off. But yeah, this is tabbed in the sides and here. See that? There's a tab slot there, and these also slots in right here. Yeah, it's supposed to do that, but yeah, I'll just put it out the side. And unplug these pieces from here. They plug in real securely right there, and then unplug them from themselves. They're keyed, so do that. And also you want to move those like that for now. Just don't make things a little easier for yourself. And on this thing, you want to remove these two blue pieces from the here. They just peg on. And this thing, you also want to move that up and then take this piece and collapse it up like this and get it ready. This is pretty much ready to go for Ultra Magnus. The leg pieces, what you want to do here is you take this piece, collapse it like this, and then right here, fold it in right here like that, then fold this in. On these hinges, it'll come in, and then this will tab into this slot like that. Those will tab like that. And that's one leg done. Again, same with this side. Want to fold this in and fold it in half right here, so it's like this. And then fold the whole thing along that line and tab it in. And it's actually really clever how it all folds up like that. So those are ready. So you want to do here, take this big piece and just slot it in. These go in these little holes here. This tab right here will go into that slot there. All good. Like so. And like so. That's easy enough. Nice and solid. These arm pieces, you actually want to open those up. Make sure. So this angled part goes forward, and there's a peg in here, right there, that goes into the peg hole right here. This slides right over. Lines up like this, and then you close it up. And that's his forearm. Same with this side. Open it up. Slide it over. And peg it on. Tab it together, and there you go. Those are arms done. Then you want to take the shoulders here. This gray piece goes in the back. You just slide it over the smokestack and everything. Like this from the side. Make sure you don't get the smokestack caught on the inside. You just slide it over, and then this folds up on the back. And it's ostensibly this is supposed to tab in there, but on this one it doesn't fully, doesn't like to do that. I've noticed it doesn't really like to tab over, even though it's supposed to. Same with this side. Slide it over, bring it up over the tab, and those are done. This is where I also like to, take the guns, these big black guns, peg them in, like so. You can also have them hold them, but that's where they peg in. And of course the rockets, little rocket pods, they just peg in on the sides. They kind of sit a little high, but this way they get out of the way of their arms so they can still move properly. And this thing, there's these clips back here, right there. These two sets of clips go over the rail. And this right here, this is kind of sits in like this. And it kind of just sits in there like that. And then there's these tabs right here. So there's tabs right there that goes in these slots here. Line it up properly, and it should just tie in nicely. Might take a couple tries before it plays nice. There, tab that in, and then these tabs right here will go in those slots. And of course, you can give him his gun, and boom, you got Ultra Magnus in his fully combined mode. And it's very, very G1 Ultra Magnus. I mean, heck, he even has his little butt plate that people complain about in the Masterpiece guy. It's still there. It's like they made sure that butt plate was there. And I'm like, good. People whine about that too much. Yeah, it's it's definitely Ultra Magnus. G1 Ultra Magnus through and through. I mean, it looks good too. It looks very cleared off, blocky. It looks like original Ultra Magnus and everything. In fact, most of his articulation is fairly unhindered, and he's got a new head here, but it's still a ball joint, but it doesn't really, because of the shape of the helmet, it doesn't tilt left and right anymore, but it does still look up and down a bit. It still looks left and right, all that stuff. Shoulders are largely unhindered every which way. His elbows are unhindered. His wrist swivel still work. His waist swivel still works, although now there's this big old thing right here, so it can get a little way if you're really trying to rotate it, but most people won't do that. Hips still work. The only thing is they don't go back as far because of this piece. You know, it doesn't go back as far. It doesn't quite go 90 degrees at the knees anymore because of the extra armor stuff. But he does have new ankles, and yep, they tilt quite far. The only thing is they're also perma-tilted. They don't go flat, so you can't ever get them in a like perfectly rigid stance. But I'm not too concerned about that. But yeah, they're sculpted for A stance, but they also have that, so got quite a bit of range there. It's still pretty much the same articulation, with just some minor limitations thanks to the armor. Yeah, so this is also somewhere more of the battle damage shows up. You can see here on the chest and on the feet and stuff mostly, and a little bit on the arm guards. Not a whole lot, but a little tiny bit, and on the shoulders. I still think it looks good. It's one of the again. I think a lot of people are kind of overblowing the battle damage thing a bit. Their complaints, but. Real quick, also here he is with the Combiner Wars version, which, yes, he is noticeably shorter. But also, he's feels a little bit heavier. I think he actually is by like half a gram or something. I don't remember. It's like he's not much. He's heavier, but not by much. He also has better articulation overall. He can actually hold his gun, unlike guns. You know, because he can actually hold these. You can actually hold those, so there you go. Yeah, exactly. He's just, honestly, even though he is smaller, I think he's a better toy, honestly. Between the fact that he's got an inner robot, like he's got the inner robot and everything, and he's got better articulation. He's just a better toy, even if, ignoring the whole, more G1 accurate. I mean, if you really want an IDW Ultra Magnus, that's your only bet is that one, but this is, I think, overall a much better Ultra Magnus toy in general. This between the better articulation and better paint and just the the playability of just two figures in one, an armored up white Prime. It just takes that concept from the old G1 toy and really, takes it to its logical conclusion. I think it does a really good job and doesn't compromise itself too much in the process either. Again, the only thing is just, for some people, it's just he's too small, and that's just going to upset people, and that's just how it is. They're kind of upset that Siege is smaller and overall than some of the previous figures. And speaking of just, here's with the Siege Shockwave, and yeah, you can see even Siege Shockwave is still smaller, even armored up. That's that. Yeah, it's a good figure, and I really like him. This is a really good Ultra Magnus, and I do not regret it. And yeah, even if you just skip this guy and get the Galaxy Force / Cybertron Optimus instead, it's the same mold, so you're still getting a really good toy out of it, I think. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick that up yet, but any which way, yeah, either this one or probably the Optimus is coming based off this one. Yeah, either one is a solid choice, I think. You can't really go wrong. The only thing is, like, because of the wheels, because of the way the wheels are, he can roll still, which I just find funny. You can make him, you can absolutely tab those together, and now he's rolling. Yeah, but yeah, highly recommend him. This is, of the 2 liters, you're gonna get 1 liter. Honestly, unless you're a huge Shockwave fan, this is probably the one to get. I think he's better bang for your buck. And he just, yeah, looks good, and everything. It's just a really nice figure. I just really like it a lot. So, yeah, pick this guy up if you haven't already. And yeah, I hope you found this informative or entertaining. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And I hope to see you next time when I do another video review, or maybe something else, depending on how things go. So, bye.